Chafing Armor Podcast, episode 74. Half a rod and a whole lot of trouble. Welcome back to the Chafing Armor Podcast. I'm your host, and just finished a live stream on my YouTube channel, so if I'm a little hoarse, I apologize. Michael Corley, and with me tonight is James. James, tell everybody who you will be playing.
Hi, everybody. I am playing Penton Chalice, a spell scale sorcerer, and he's, well, you know by now what he does. He's pretty. He's shiny. He's got things happening.
And he's going through changes.
Oh, them changes.
And also with us tonight, we have Izzy. Izzy, tell everyone who you will be playing.
Hello, everyone. Tonight... Sorry, dog being very loud. Tonight I will be playing Marezi Mugraw, half-orc barbarian, currently blinded by lizard spit.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So when we last left our adventurers, they had successfully rescued Osokai from certain death from a 200-foot fall. He was recovering in a semi-healing coma inside of Audrey 3, the hut with chicken legs that he was being transported in with Dare. Some craziness happened there, which the listeners will know from the last two episodes, but our wonderful two players right now are actually not aware of. But what has happened is you have gone out into the plains and discovered a young woman dead.
Oh.
The young woman's skull has been removed, and her brains are missing.
Classic.
As you did this, you were attacked by 4 Zakandi, which are lizard men, the classic lizard men from Dungeons & Dragons, who have been infected by a mind flayer. And they actually look like regular lizard men, but also have some extra tentacle bits up on the top. And as unfortunately as Marezi found out, they can spit acid. And on a natural 20, they actually blind. And currently Marezi is blinded. By the way, folks, fun little tip. Both James and I, when we looked up the rules last time, we missed that if you are blinded, there is a 50% chance you will just flat out miss. So we had missed that last time.
Oops.
But we'll make sure and add that back in now that we know. The two of you, despite her being blinded, managed to kill all 4 Zakandi, both in part from some awesome halberd work from Marezi and a really cool lightning blast from Penton.
Yeah.
Penton, however, is going through some changes. He's had 2 wounds appear on his back. He has had his right hand has become more clawed and scaled like a dragon's. And just when we were ending, a pain ripped through his face. This had all happened after the spirit from the wind elemental that looked like a dragon had entered you. And
right.
So you're feeling a little off.
I forgot about the face pain part.
Yes, we actually, that was right before we ended. And as we were ending, out of the plains, out of the grassy plains in the darkness, this is nighttime, came walking Rauro. And Rauro was the gentleman that you had rescued from the pirate ship. He had been locked up in the pirate ship and was starving to death. And he has now reappeared. You had last seen him actually on the docks when you had the big battle with Punchy McBeardface. He walked up and went, oh, nope, turned around and walked back. That was the last you had seen of him.
I have a quick question.
Piece of work.
Is his last name Raggy?
It's Raggy Raro.
Raro Raggy?
Raro.
Sorry.
I regret nothing. I have
actually... As well, you shouldn't.
I have leaned into my name sounding the same now.
So much so that I was pretty sure when you said his name that that's not his name, but honestly, who knows?
Well, I might have said it Raro before, but it's either way is fine. It depends on which part of Massgate you're from.
Right, it's all in the accent.
The only difference in him, he's now dressed a little more finely as like a adventurer, a little more fine leather armor, that kind of thing, a knife at his side, a short sword at his other, And one minor detail is that his face is covered with blood.
Yay!
And
He's got a new style going on. I like his new aesthetic.
He's got a new style. Of course, you can't see this, Marezi,
Yeah,
but you do hear his voice, and I will say for the sake of clarity that you do recognize it. You did spend several weeks with him on the ship of the Piss Whistle. And
the good ship Piss Whistle.
So since you are blinded, he calls out to you, Penton, and he says, "Hey, Penton, how's it going?"
Oh, okay. Things have been pretty crazy, I have to say. Forgive me if I'm being rude. What's with your face?
Oh, gosh, I'm so sorry. And he gives, without looking, he gives the body at his feet, a young woman. You never learned her name, sadly. As I said before, somewhere between 50 and 100 of the survivors from the village of Palm Grove. He gives her a just kick to her body.
Ooh.
And he says, sometimes I just don't clean up after eating. And he grins, and his mouth does not actually like distend or anything like supernatural, but it just seems a little too wide. And he just smiles, and maybe you see just a little bit of pink stuck between his teeth.
I can't see what's going on, but by context, I say what the hell.
Marezi, I think something's wrong with Raro.
Wrong?
Oh, with Mr. Raggy?
I mean...
Wrong? There's nothing wrong with me. I'm doing perfectly fine.
That's what my mom said when she drank too much mead.
Well, your mom and I would get along, we'd have a good drink, and then I would be more than happy to eat her brains.
Jesus!
I'm not familiar with that deity, but I'll keep this real simple. You there, scaly boy. I want you to walk in to that hut. I want you to bring me the staff and give it to me. No funny business. That big walking chicken leg better not move 1 inch, or you're both dead.
Oh, really?
And why?
And with that, he had been kind of shuffling just ever so slightly. You thought maybe he was puffing up or preening a little bit. He whips around, and in his left arm, he has, by the neck, Crisporia, the wonderfully named, as I forget what Lee said, that it sounded like maybe a cleaning detergent.
I feel like he sounds like some kind of cream that you use for a bad genital rash.
Crisporia. I have genital herpes, but you'd never know. Thanks, Crisporia.
Do not use Crisporia near a microwave.
So he has Crisporia, and he pulls out one of his mini daggers. If you were to guess his class, you might say, I don't know, rogue? He's always had a kind of a roguish air about him. And he places it to Crisporia's neck. And he says, bring out the staff and give it to me. I have put up with this crap for long enough. And despite the fact that you very, very rudely killed all of my Zakandi, I am still in charge here. And I am taking that staff, and I am bringing it to my leader, and he will give it to the master, and then I will finally be able to get off this godforsaken plains.
This plains? You speak not good.
Shut up. He clearly doesn't know what to say to that.
Wait, you have a leader?
Of course I have a leader. You met him. You met our leader, my leader, when you went down into the Underdark and went down and found him finishing up with his dark works. You get the impression that he doesn't actually know what his leader was doing. And he says, the Mind Flayer.
Oh, right.
So occasionally, when one of us Mind Flayers is made, there's a bit of a glitch, little hiccup, and we retain our, mostly human characteristics. And when that happens, well, people like me come out, and we make great spies. We are really good for doing runs into the overworld. But
so what you're saying is you're a mistake.
Oh,
I was too. Don't feel bad.
He actually laughs at that. That's a good one. I like that, Marezi. I always appreciated your coarse sense of humor. But I like to think that I was an opportunity. And I can do things that the other Mind Flayers can't.
Like talk a whole lot.
Oh, you have no idea what I can do with my... He almost says mouth, and then he realizes that is not right. And he stops.
Yeah.
He goes, shut up. And he goes, all right, I'm through screwing around. And he pulls the knife up closer to Crisporia's neck, and he kind of whimpers a little bit. At this time, just to set the stage, Audrey is about 15 feet from y'all.
Okay.
She has stopped. Either she sensed something's going on. She kind of had general command just to move forward towards the village in the general direction of the village of Palm Grove. And many of the villagers are inside of her, especially the ones who are more hurt, along with Tix and with Osokai.
Right.
And there are a few villagers that were kind of milling about outside, but they either have not seen what's going on or they have, fled when a bunch of Zakandi came out of the grass.
Okay.
Zakandi, you're the one.
All right, so I'm just going to stand there with my arms crossed, and then I'm just going to mentally have the chicken hut walk up to behind me.
He did say that he was going to kill Crisporia if you moved the hut.
I know.
All right.
Okay. So he did threaten to do that. You don't know whether he really will or not. You know that he's a murderer, but this is also his only token that you're aware of. So what I would like you to do is pick the skill you would think is most applicable to keeping him from doing something rash.
Well, I could always try. I would say maybe diplomacy, maybe bluff.
Either diplomacy or bluff would work. It depends on what you... And then I would also like you to say what you would say, or if you're just trying to, affect a cavalier attitude.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'm not saying anything. I just want to have him have the hut walk up to behind me so I can go up into it without having to, turn my back to him, basically.
Okay. As far as y'all can tell, like I said, it is nighttime. The grass at this part of the Penta Plain comes up to maybe about your sternum, or the middle of your chest.
Nipples.
Nipples, and this is kind of to your nips. It's about nip high grass. That's the saying everyone says.
Right. That's the thing.
So
I'm
go ahead.
nip deep in trouble.
Go ahead and roll. This is more of a bluff than diplomacy.
Okay, yeah, because I'm just like locked eyes with him at this point. It's 27.
I don't think they make 27-sided dice.
Well, it's a 17 plus my 10 in bluff.
So you tell he pulls the knife up closer and he goes hey, but he doesn't actually do anything yet. There's also, you see him, you know how like when your hair is mussed up and you catch someone's eye flick up to your hair? His eye is flicking to your face, and he's kind of there's like a worry there of like he doesn't know what's going on.
That makes two of us.
Yeah, you don't know what's
cool
going on with your face.
I'm
right
like
now.
putting money on cool Hellboy horns.
Oh, awesome! Yes, that's now canon. You have 16-foot long Hellboy horns.
Dang it! Those are gonna get in the way.
That's why your head is so heavy.
Yeah,
But
it's going to fall over.
so I'm not even going to make you roll an Arcana with her so close, and with this not being a combat roll,
Uh-huh.
Audrey just pivots and boom, 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 in just a few steps because her stride is so long. She comes up right behind you and blocks out the moon, and you feel the shadow of the moon fall over you as Audrey
The moon hits
just
your eye
looms
like
over you.
big pizza pie. That's an Audrey 2.
Three.
Three.
Excuse me, Audrey, 3.
Yes.
And then she slowly leans down a little bit to allow you access.
All right. Oh, I'll just casually step into the hut, and I'll make some loud, like, rummaging around sounds. And, like, as I go in, I'll, like, whisper to everybody, or, hold up my finger to my mouth to, like, make sure everybody stays quiet, so we don't reveal just how many people are in the hut.
Marezi twiddles her thumbs.
I'll rattle, 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 shove, shove, shove. And then I'll shout loudly, "Who misplaced my staff?"
He yells up to you and he goes, "You got 30 seconds and I'm going to start enjoying myself a late night snack."
I don't think you can count that high.
And he actually kind of flusters a little bit. Like he was really expecting to be in control of this situation and he doesn't feel in control. You can't see this, Marezi, but he shifts his grip on his knife and he's actually got it pressed against the scalp of Crisporia like he's getting ready to scalp him.
Neat.
And perhaps a tiny trickle of blood comes down his forehead. You can't see this either, Penton, but
Right.
this shows what kind of a villain he is, that he doesn't realize that nobody who's important can actually see this. But he nevertheless does it, and he goes, 30 seconds!
All right. What have I got in my bag of tricks here? It's dark. Is there anything like in the nature of like a broom or something?
I think if I did,
I believe there's a broom in the hut.
I believe there is a broom. I mean, come on, it's a witch's hut. It has to have a broom in it.
Right.
Now, the broom, obviously, they don't make brooms like they do today, so it doesn't look exactly like a staff. But it is, staff adjacent.
Right, staff-esque. Yeah, I'm gonna take the broom and just remove the untie the bristles from the end of it, so it's just a stick. And okay, and then I will walk up to the entryway to the hut, and I will hold it kind of next to me closely. Like I'm trying to guard it, keep it close to me because I don't want to part with it. And I'll ask him, where do you want it?
He looks up at you and he says, he actually pauses, like he hadn't quite thought, like for some reason he was thinking that this would go differently.
I'm sure.
And
I thought it would too.
He says, throw it to me.
Okay, here you go. And I throw it as far away as I can behind him.
Okay.
Oops.
So I would like you to make another bluff check.
Okay. That is a 19. So 29.
19. 29. Okay. At this moment, a few things happen. One, Marezi, you feel the familiar Aki is sufficiently strong that she can climb up your body without you lifting her. You very often will haul her partway and then she'll scrabble up onto your shoulder. But
Indeed.
she has actually, because you are wearing, armor, with her sharp claws, she will actually scramble up your entire body if she wants to.
Indeed.
And at this moment, she scrambles up the side of your body onto your shoulder. And as the stick is flying through the air, you suddenly see the stick flying through the air, and you realize just instinctively you are actually looking through her eyes.
Hell yeah!
And you see in a deeper range of infrared than you're used to. It actually you're seeing more of the warm colors.
I've got lizard vision.
You have lizard vision. You can see the cooling body on the ground next to Raro. You see the bright red, the terrified red, and you even kind of get a little bit of smell sense. You smell the fear coming off Crisporia, and Crisporia gets pushed forward, and Raro pivots to catch the stick in the air. And he rolls... No, he does not catch it. He runs after it in the darkness. And I would like everyone to roll for initiative.
Yeah.
Initiative.
That is
20.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
That beats my 10 by quite a bit.
Hee hee.
And so that is a 10 for Penton.
Uh-huh.
Oh, is between y'all. So, Morezi, you will have a -1 to all of your attacks because everything is slightly off.
Indeed.
And it is only because of your connection and empathy with Aki that it's only a -1. It would actually be much worse than that normally.
Lizard vision.
But you have lizard vision, and you see Raro running into the grass. What would you like to do?
I want to get that. I want to get Crisporia safe. Is there a roll I can do to get him without, like maybe a stealth check to get him without alerting Raro?
Well, you don't really need to stealth so much because he pushed Crisporia further forward. It would really just be that would be your action, and you need to describe to me what you're trying to do.
I think that I squat down and walk with my legs bent, trying to be as slow and stealthy as possible. Grab Crisporia in my large green arms, kind of slump him over me like a sack of potatoes and take him back to where we were, kind of maybe at the feet of the chicken hut.
Okay. And I want you to know that y'all are receiving extra experience points because you have gone out of your way to save the innocent who was in danger, because even though he could have, with magic and stuff shot around, Crisporia is directly in the line of fire between Penton and Raro, and that would introduce an element of danger. But by giving up your action to do that, you are ensuring the safety of this innocent. And that is extra experience points for the party. So you do so, and Crisporia knows who you are, so he's not scared of you. He's just terrified of the situation. And you hunch, and you're easily able to lead him forward. And again, you can smell the fear just wafting off him that you're smelling through Aki's nostrils.
Her nostrils?
And you bring him past to the, basically under the shelter of Audrey, slightly to the side. And that will bring it to Raro, who is going to... he doesn't really need to roll. Well, I guess it's a search more than anything. So he successfully lifts the stick up into the air, and then he goes, "What the hell?" And he turns and looks at you, and you just see murder. There is absolutely nothing supernatural about him. It's not like his eyes turn black or they glow red. He looks completely human. But the murder that is in his eyes is almost supernatural itself. And that was his movement and his action to pick that up.
Okay.
But I am going to allow him, because I would have allowed y'all to do this. He's actually going to pull one of his knives out, and he's going to throw it at you, Penton.
Okay.
All right.
And you are so lucky that was cocked, because that was a natural 20.
Ooh.
But it was cocked, and my rule is if a die is cocked, you can re-roll it. Unfortunately, that was a 19.
Well, that's my
At
AC.
least not double.
Well, he has got pluses though, probably.
Yes. Well, that was with his bonus is a 19.
Oh.
So we say that defender wins, don't we?
I believe so.
Yes, that is what we decided on for our campaign. So tell me, since it comes that close, how you keep from being hit by this dagger.
I'd knock it to the side with my staff.
Mm-hmm. I would imagine you would have your staff at the ready, and it just ping, and perhaps it into the side of Audrey, and you feel Audrey kind of shake a little bit and get very agitated.
Sorry, baby.
I'm sorry, baby. And that will bring it to you, Pinton.
Man, I wish
All
my
right.
girlfriend was a giant chicken. Giant chicken hut.
All right,
At the end of the
so
day, aren't we all giant chicken huts?
isn't the whole world just riding on the back of a giant chicken hut? All right, so he's obviously within dagger's throw range, which means he's definitely going to be within a web range.
That is correct.
So we will throw one his way and center it on him.
Gotcha. And it is I believe it is I know it's a strength to break out. What is the save versus it originally?
There's no save. It's just he's in. Oh, wait. No, well, there's, he can do a reflex save, and that will, it'll keep him from being immediately stuck, but he'll still be in the middle of a web, which means it's, difficult terrain, and every time he moves through, there's a chance of getting stuck, that sort of thing. So, the initial save is for getting immediately stuck.
So I'm going to say that he succeeds. So he is not.
That's
webbed,
fair enough.
But he is in difficult terrain. Morezi, you with your incredible lizard sense that you now have, you look over and you see Raro holding the broom, the spineless broom, up in the air and yelling, "What the heck?" What would you like to do?
So I can see enough, right?
Oh yeah.
I want to throw a knife at him.
Okay. You can absolutely do that.
From where I am.
Take note, he does have partial cover at this point.
With the, were you saying with the graphs or with
because of the webs?
Yeah.
What is how much does partial cover decrease? I don't think I hit. I rolled an 11.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's not going to hit. His highest stat is dexterity, so he kind of out of the way, and also the web makes it a little harder to hit him. That is the downside with the web, is if you want to engage him hand to hand, you also have a bit of a problem.
Yeah.
But he is in difficult terrain now, and so if he wants to try to get out of it, he has to manage through that. And that will actually bring it to him, and he is going to try to carefully pick his way through the web, greatly reducing his movement. And he is actually going to pull out, you think that he's pulling out a knife, but he is actually pulling out objects.
I was going to make a dick joke, Dad.
Oh, gosh. Please do not.
That's not a sentence you hear very often.
Yeah. And he pulls out a small device and he blows into it. And you can tell that even though you can hear him blowing into it, that this is happening on a frequency that is perhaps not in normal human or orc hearing as he blows into it. That's right. That's very orcish. Anti-orc. There you go. And that will bring it to Penton.
Okay. First off, with that noise going off, I'm assuming he's calling for help. So I'm gonna, the back of my head, tell Afiel to start circling just to keep an eye out and see what's coming from where.
Okay. Very good.
And then, I'm going to launch a lightning bolt.
Holy magic me shush.
No, a lightning bolt.
Sexy.
My new favorite friend.
So By the way, when you communicate now with Aphil, of course, you've always had an empathic link. You actually get just little bits of words and phrases from her. Eventually, of course, your connection becomes great enough that you can understand her in plain speech.
Right.
But you suspect it might have something to do with being turned into a crane?
They'll need a crane. They'll need a crane.
She is not a crane, so the language is still... It's kind of like someone speaking a relatively similar language. You catch little bits from her. But you can hear her say little things like, okay, as she flies up, and she reports back to you that she doesn't see anything in the immediate area that she can see. And now you cast Lightning Bolt. And tell everyone what that does.
It makes a super bright streak of lightning pain toward a person from which he can save a reflex save for half. Although I don't know how a reflex save against a lightning bolt's going to work when you're in the middle of a web. And I'm going to leave that to you, my gracious DM. Because it's hard to dodge when you're in the middle of sticky stuff.
No, he is going to have to be at disadvantage.
Okay.
To dodge, because he has a choice. He can dodge, but then he will immediately be webbed, or he can dodge at a disadvantage.
Makes sense.
It's his choice.
Well, I will be infusing this with the powers of my god, of course.
There you go,
Bahamut.
And tell everyone what that does when you infuse it with your god.
Oh, well, I have this handy little spell scale bonus where 3 times a day I can add 2d6 to the damage of an attack spell, such as Lightning Bolt, which will add an extra 2d6 to the 66 I can already do. So
you do that, and again, your face, your hand, your shoulders, they all burn.
Ooh.
And not in like agony, but like very, very warm. Like you've got a heating pad and it's like a little too warm. That kind of thing, but like a little bit more than that. You actually do 2d6 plus 3 damage.
Oh.
It actually bumps it up even more. And he is going to try to dodge at disadvantage.
All right. Well, I'm going to roll up my damage here while you're doing that.
Yep, because the first one he rolled, was since he chose to roll at a disadvantage, he did not want to get stuck in this web. So basically, he kind of goes, huh, and he ends up not moving at all.
Just sucks it down.
When you fire this lightning, where does it come from? Do you?
I've always pictured it coming from like my fingertip, just a point and zap kind of thing.
Okay.
Not your butt. Dang.
No, definitely not my butt.
No, it is not butt oriented lightning. This isn't France.
Damn French. I'm kidding. I love you, random French listener.
Yes, we love our
Probably
French
have
listeners.
exactly one of.
Okay, so that would be a total of 36 points of damage.
Okay. So you light him up. He screams, and I'm actually going to... Yeah. I'm going to say that he is partially restrained because he can't keep from, like, bending down and, like, part of his arm gets stuck in the web.
Okay.
But he's not fully restrained right now. But it's kind of got him. As 36 points of damage, which would be instantly lethal to a normal human, just courses through his body. He drops the stick. The broom actually the broom handle actually catches fire as he drops it to the ground. The only damage problem is some of the web is burned away. But not
right, which
not
will actually
that...
if you burning the web away would actually do some damage to him too.
That's true. So since I said it, we shall do. So it will burn away a path for him, but it is also going to do him some extra damage.
Right. Let's see.
So that is a problem for him because the stick catches fire. He drops the stick, and then the web catches fire. That's not great for him. And that will bring it to Morezi.
So, if some of it is burnt away, do you think I could justify, with the length of my halberd, coming at him with an attack without having to deal with the web myself?
I would allow you to make an attack with your halberd, on your halberd only, melee, with without
long.
stepping onto the web.
That?
People, I'm sorry?
It's long.
Yeah, people forget how long halberds are. They are really, really long. They're
It
even
is slightly
taller
than Morezi, so it's like 7 feet long.
Yeah. So if
Plus,
you
since he came through part way, at this point he's probably exposed.
That's true. He's even closer.
Yee. Got me that natural 20.
Good timing.
Oh my goodness.
Good
Oh my
Sexy.
timing.
So roll for damage.
Alright.
That I did say it was a -1. However, a natural 20 is still a hit. That's still a natural 20. So that doesn't affect a natural 20.
With the 20 bonus, that is 18 points of ouchie boy damage.
18. Wow. So I want you to describe to me,
Oh no.
Morezi, what it is like when you kill Raro with your halberd.
Well, with my special activated lizard vision, I am able to sense Raro's fear, and I know that his greatest fear is getting his throat slit with a nasty halberd, and I do that. I slit his throat with a nasty old halberd, and then I just kind of kick him a little bit just because I hate this guy.
He was just close enough to be in foot range as well. So what I want y'all to imagine is this is the sequence of events. He grabs the fake staff, he holds it up. What the heck? Suddenly, a web appears over him. He thinks he's outsmarted you because he manages to dodge through the web as it lands around him, only to find he tries to throw a knife at you. You knock it aside, and you come back from that attack with a outstretched hand. Your face blazes for a moment, and lightning arcs out from your hand and cooks him. The staff he's holding catches fire. He drops it to the ground. It burns away some of the web, burning his feet. And that opens a path that Morezi, comes forward. Instead of a jab, which is what most, like a military trained person, like a standard, human military, you're a barbarian. And you come and you bring a roundhouse swing, a 180-degree swing with that curved halberd, and it just, and you just see the blood pour from his throat. And he falls to the ground and collapses among the burning web. Dead.
That is satisfying!
And that is when the ground starts to shake.
Oh,
and
Lord.
as you may recall, I said that Afiel did not see anything nearby.
Oh,
and
no.
Afiel was 100% right.
Oh,
Because what
no.
was coming is from underground.
Oh,
And the ground
no.
bursts open, and a creature appears.
Does it look like a tree trunk?
No, it doesn't. It looks
Oh,
like
those
what you are
orange.
seeing on Discord.
Is that a chull?
That is a chull.
Oh,
Chull.
However, chulls can
it's
be
a chullithid. It's a chullithid.
Technically, it is called a uchulon. A
Chullithid.
uchulon has been infected with a mind flayer parasite and is now a servant of the mind flayer. And it is erupted out. By the way, this thing is enormous. It's about 8 feet tall, crashing out from the ground, the claws pincering every which way. It looks for a moment and sees that Raro is dead, and then it turns and looks at both of you with murderous intent. And that's where we'll end!
No.
Chafing Armor, episode 74.
Nasty.
Fun, everybody!
I don't like chullithids.
Chullithids, they kind of suck.
I feel like cholithid would be something I would order at a gourmet restaurant.
Yes. How is the cholithid? Is that quite delicious? Well, I want to thank, first of all, I want to thank anyone who has joined, who has come from my YouTube channel, my other YouTube channel called Roleplay Riot. I know that I've had several new subscribers from there, particularly Platinum Rose Lady is one who joined up. Everyone say, hello, Rose Lady.
Hello, Platinum
amazing
Rose Lady.
Platinum Rose Lady.
She is awesome. I've chatted with her a little bit on Twitter. We're getting lots of cool people. And we're chatting with some other Dungeons and Dragons podcasts. James, you were talking about that. We're going to talk about that more soon.
Yes.
That'll be really fun. And so if y'all are enjoying this, go ahead and subscribe to us on your podcatcher of choice. And we would love to have you hear even more from Chafing Armor.
I've literally never heard the word podcatcher before in my life. It's my new favorite word.
That's because I'm really old and I'm using an old term.
Oh.
So, good night, everybody.
Good night.
Have a nice night.
And we
dream of
will,
cholithids.
do uchila. I actually, even though it's not, I like cholithid better.
Me
we're
too.
going to say I'm scratching it out right here, and it's called a cholithid. That is now canon. It is
Excellent.
a cholithid. That's better. That's better than the word that they had in the book.
I agree.
And so, do cholithids dream mind flayer sheep? That is the question.
Tentacle sheep! I'm ditching my current art project to draw that.
Well, y'all have a good evening, and we will roll with you soon.